What if the Tower of Babel was never just a tower? What if it was the first attempt at a unified global system? One civilization built around centralized power, shared ideology, and total human coordination. And at the center of it all stood a man the Bible calls Nimrod, a mighty hunter before the Lord. But what if that phrase means something far darker than most people realize? Because the deeper you dig into Babel, the less it looks like a primitive construction project, and the more it looks like the blueprint for the First World Order. The flood had reset the world. Humanity survived, and according to Genesis, they were given a direct command: spread out, fill the earth. But instead, humanity gathered. One place, one language, one ambition. That matters, because centralized systems have always promised the same things: security, unity, progress. But they also concentrate something else: power. And as we saw in Egypt, systems built for stability can quickly become systems of control. Then Genesis introduces Nimrod, and the wording is strange. He began to be a mighty one in the earth, not simply a king, not merely powerful, a beginning. The name Nimrod is often associated with the Hebrew idea of rebellion, carrying the sense of "we shall rebel." Now imagine naming your child defiance, revolt, revolution. And the Hebrew word used for mighty one is Gibbor, the same word connected elsewhere to legendary warriors and figures tied to the ancient pre-flood world. The same thematic territory connected to the Nephilim traditions we explored in the Origin series. Nimrod isn't introduced as merely powerful. He's introduced as the beginning of something. Most people picture a hunter of animals, but many ancient Jewish traditions understood Nimrod differently. A hunter of men, a ruler who gathered people through power, fear, and centralized authority. Now pause there, because suddenly Babel stops looking primitive. It starts looking familiar. Not just a city, a consolidation project, a civilization designed around enforced unity, pattern insight. When power centralizes, individuality weakens, and the larger the system becomes, the harder it becomes to leave. Then Genesis gives an oddly specific detail. They used brick instead of stone, and tar for mortar. Why mention building materials? Because this wasn't merely architecture. It represented a new way of organizing civilization itself. Brick is manufactured, standardized, uniform. Unlike natural stone, it's engineered to fit a system. And suddenly, Babel doesn't feel ancient anymore. It feels modern. One language, one architecture, one integrated system. Not every centralized system is evil, but Scripture repeatedly warns what happens when power becomes concentrated without restraint. The name Babylon likely comes from Bab-Ilu, Gate of God or Gateway of the Gods. Ancient Mesopotamian ziggurats weren't merely tall structures. They were sacred mountains, designed as connection points between heaven and earth. And that changes the question entirely. Was Babel simply human pride, or was it something deeper? An attempt to reopen the same kind of boundary crossing associated with the ancient Enoch traditions. Not climbing physically into heaven, but building a unified system meant to merge the spiritual, the political, the technological, into one centralized order. Then comes one of the most unsettling lines in Genesis 11. God says, "Now nothing they purpose to do will be impossible for them." That's remarkable, because the issue wasn't the tower's height. It was unified human ambition, without limits. Genesis records their goal clearly. Let us make a name for ourselves, lest we be scattered. That's the rebellion, not construction, consolidation. Humanity choosing centralized control instead of distributed stewardship. One system, one authority, one identity. And history keeps repeating that pattern. Empires rise, promising order, but eventually they begin demanding conformity. Then comes the interruption, the confusion of languages. But what if this wasn't only judgment? What if it was mercy? A forced decentralization, before humanity locked itself into a system too powerful to challenge. Because when communication collapses, systems collapse with it. And even now, modern civilization depends on interconnected systems: communication, technology, supply chains, digital infrastructure. And when those systems fail, fragmentation happens fast. Now step back and look at the larger pattern we've traced. Book of Enoch, accelerating knowledge. The flood, global reset. Egypt, centralized power and control. Babel, unified rebellion and system building. This isn't random history, it's escalation. Knowledge becomes power, power becomes systems. Systems become control. Babel is the prototype. So maybe the Tower of Babel was never mainly about height. Maybe it was about unification, without limits. A civilization attempting to build its own gateway, its own authority, its own future. Because Babel wasn't humanity reaching upward toward God. It was humanity building a system that no longer believed it needed him. And every civilization eventually faces the same temptation: to build a system so powerful, it no longer believes it answers to anything above itself. What do you think? Was Babel simply an ancient construction project or the blueprint for the First World Order? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I read every one. And in the next part of the Babylon Dossier, we're going deeper into the religion that emerged from this system. Because Babylon didn't disappear. Its ideas kept spreading. Subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss what's next.